Hi, I am doing my makeup tutorial, my morning routine to it's just my way of doing it. And I'm learning a lot as I get older and I'm embracing makeup more and embracing covering up some flaws. So, already what I've put on for the base, the first thing I did after washing my face was put on some number 7 eye cream. And then after that, I applied sunscreen. Now, I have a more expensive sunscreen and it's 50, but it doesn't rub in as well as this stuff, and this is SPF 30. It and then after that, I put my go-to Nivea Essentials, and I use the day and night cream. And getting back to the sunscreen, the reason I like this better than the other, it actually goes on better underneath the makeup. And I learned this just recently that you put the sunscreen on under the regular cream and then it doesn't streak. And then once I've done that, I I put on my my new Chanel find, which is wonderful. And it really lets the other makeup bind well. I've also used Naked Skin, and I like it too, but I find that this Chanel, while it's a little more expensive, it does bind a lot better. And then once I've done that, I usually go with a sponge and catch right at the hairline. It seems to kind of gob up a little bit. So I usually take the sponge and get rid of that gob up, and also on the eyebrows and sometimes around the nose. So, and then after I've done that, and this is what I've already done before I start, this is just a cheapy CoverGirl stick, and I've just put some on my finger, put it on my eyelids. I learned that from a YouTube tutorial to put concealer on your eyelids, and it helps your eyeliner stay better, and it doesn't streak after. And then after that, there's my latest great find is Dermacell, and it's a makeup cover. I have terrible brown spots underneath my eye, and this covers it really, really nicely. So, okay, that's what I've done. I haven't put any powder on yet, and here's my sponge. Here's my powder is Shiseido, and what I am going to do is a little trick that was taught to me by Zachary at Beauty Boutique in Shoppers Drug Mart and the Core, downtown Calgary. And to put just a little dab of on a powder, just to underneath the and around the eye, underneath the eye, and that way, because what happens, you might find what happens is if you use the brush, it just basically wipes the concealer right off. So this at least keeps the concealer, and then what I also do is take another little brush, another trick from Zachary, and just kind of smooth out around the eye and make sure all the, you know, if it's hasn't covered well, I don't touch the concealer part where I want to hide. And then the other thing Zachary taught me was to take a little bit of the powder right on the nose crease, and that way that also helps. And then after that is done, then I take the powder brush, and again, not hitting the spot right underneath my eye because the brush just takes that concealer right off. And then, of course, smooth it out underneath your chin. So there's my base, and that's it. That's a wrap on that. The next thing I have is Chanel again. It's another new find, thanks to Zachary again. And this eye makeup is awesome. So I think there's 4 colors in here. And let's see, I'm going to do this one, which is kind of more of a copper, shiny copper. And a little bit on there. And then I've never really used the little brushes before, but I decided to start using them because it actually helps keep it more solid along the eye. I know you can't, the light is not good, but I have to have the light on my mirror in order to see what the heck I'm doing better, because, you know, hard to do 2 things at once. So then once I've done that, then I just take another dab with that same color, the darker color, and just smooth it out a little bit. This is really nice makeup, this Chanel. Again, it's kind of expensive, but you know what? I've come to that point where I don't really care. I'm gonna go out looking good. So there you go. So that's done. And then there's 2 eyeliners that I really, really like. And the liquid eyeliner is Stila, of course. And this is Smashbox. This is just the pencil. And I used to wear, you know, maybe if I was going out, I would do some underneath. I'm not really great at applying it underneath. But anyway, bear with me as I put this on. And I got to switch my mirror around onto the bigger, the bigger screen. So you try to get it like Malachite at Shoppers Beauty Boutique says, get it as close to the eyelashes as possible. And the challenge is trying to get it somewhat even on the other side. All depends on how steady your hand is. So there, I've got my eyeliner on, and then I've got my Clinique mascara. I just put a little bit of water in the brush to kind of loosen it a bit. It might be globby, I don't know. We'll see how it is. But I like this because it's got the tiny brush, and I find it's a little easier to work with. So again, with the big mirror, oops, it is kind of globby. Yuck. Oh well, that's what you get without testing before you go on a camera. So yeah, unless you work on national television, you get to sit in a makeup chair and have somebody do your makeup. You kind of have to go and do, check out tutorials or get makeup lessons, which, I'm makeup Luddite until now. Well, not that I'm perfect now, but anyway, I've learned everything I've learned in the last 2 years. I've learned from Malachite and Zachary at Shoppers Drug Mart, and through some online tutorials, and it's kind of opened up my life a little bit. I've been doing it all wrong all these years, and I won't tell you how old I am. Anyway, and then the last part I do this last because I'm usually leaning my hand on my cheek there to apply. So then I use the Shiseido, or Lease Water rather. Oops, better switch this over. Lease Water blush. And voila, we're done.